back, Peter Surfaroo. We've got a real special one here now. We've got Mr. Glenn Rushton, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, Pete. Yeah, nice to catch up, and appreciate your time.
Now, mate, you're the coach of this upcoming champion, world champion, Jeff Horn, mate. Now, before we go and see about Jeff, let's go back into your background, because I'm always curious about coaches if they have done the boxing. Now, you've done martial arts, all that. Let's see what you've done.
Yeah, well, I started in boxing when I was around 12 years of age up in Townsville. We used to go down to Reggie Kirkland's gym behind the Pimlico High School there, and did some training there, went off to the NFC and did some boxing out there. And of course, when Bruce Lee came out in the early 70s, all of us just wanted to kick and swing nunchuckers and of course get involved in the whole kung fu sort of karate movement. So I switched over to martial arts in 1974 with Bob Jones, and did that for 12 years and went through the 4th degree black belt, set up my own style, and founded my style, Scorpion Martial Arts, and ran that for many years, and it's been a non-stop involvement now for over 4 decades.
Now, mate, you've had some world champions here in Australia. You've taken them overseas with some success, like to future, but you saw that boxing was the way to go.
Yeah, the last world champion I trained in Muay Thai, he was only getting paid a couple of $1,000s there to defend the title, and there was no chance of Commonwealth Games, Olympics or anything like that, no real money, lots of injuries of course, and I started thinking, maybe I should go back to where I started in boxing. And I'd founded the National Martial Arts League, done a lot for martial arts and dedicated decades of my life to that, and decided to switch my attention back to boxing in around 2007.
Now, after all this, you moved to Brisbane and you've met this guy, 29 years old, Jeff Horn. Now, tell me where all that started and how it got, he just sprung out of nowhere, and now he's fighting for a world title against the biggest man in boxing, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, Jeff, wandered into the gym about 11 years ago as an 18-year-old just out of high school. He was getting bullied at school and just come here. I was still teaching both martial arts and boxing in those days. He just wanted to learn some self-defence, so he was training one night a week, and happy to do that for quite some time. After about 18 months of doing that, I saw a lot of talent in him. He was moving very well. He had a good chin and was really starting to pick things up well. And he said to me one night, "Hey, I'm thinking of getting serious about either rugby league or boxing." He said, "I've been playing soccer for 12 years, but I don't quite feel I'm going to quite make it there in soccer, so I'm looking to switch to either rugby league or boxing. Which way do you think I should go?" And I said, "Well, Jeff, it's up to you." I said, "I think you're a little bit small at 5'9". I said, "For rugby league," I said, "you're going to have guys like Willie Mason, 120 kilos coming at you. It's going to be pretty daunting." I said, "But boxing has weight divisions." And I said, "If I see a lot of ability in you," I said, "and if you're prepared to commit yourself, I believe I can take you to Olympic Games in 4 years." I said, "And then 3 years after that, make you a world professional champion." I said, "Then if you do everything I say, then you can retire in your mid-30s a very wealthy man." I said, "This is not an easy road." I said, "It's a difficult road, a hard journey." I said, "It is a possible dream for some, and you're one of them. So you're one of the lucky few that can do this. But it's up to you." I said, "Go home, think about it." I said, "You need to be committed, really committed to this if you're going to do it." I said, "So let me know next week what you want to do, and we'll go from there." And he came back in the next week and he said, "I'm in." He just said, "If you really believe," he hadn't had a fight, remember, at this point. He said, "But if you really think you can do what you're saying for me," I can see he didn't really believe it, but he thought, "Hey, if you say it, you've had over 4 decades, experience in the fight game." He said, if you think it," he says, "then I'm in." He said, "Let's see how we go." And we did. We set out on the journey and we started going very hard, very fast. So I said, we've time's of the essence now. Every 18 we need to move. So he didn't actually have his first fight till he was 20, about 20 and a half to be exact, before he stepped in the ring. He won that one, and his second fight I put him into the state title. So they tried to talk me out of entering him. They said, "Listen, there's some pretty good boys here. Your guys had one fight, you're going into state titles." And I said, "Oh, he'll be all right." Jeff won those state titles, and in his 4th fight he was down at the national titles, and he drew the winner from the previous year in his first fight. He didn't win that fight. He actually got a little bit of a touch-up, but he did get closer than anyone else in that tournament. That chap, David Biddle, won the national again, And Jeff was quite sort of ill afterwards, and I was talking to him and I said, he was in the toilets and he was feeling like throwing up, and I said, Jeff, that guy will never beat you again. And he said, what? I just had a touch-up. And that was true, because he fought him 3 more times and Jeff beat that fella every time after that. So most things I've said to Jeff have come true, so he's come to believe in my judgment and what I say. And the same thing with going to the Olympics. Yes, he did go to the Olympics. He should have medalled. I believe if I would have been in his corner for that fight, he would have medalled. I particularly trained him to beat the guy, Denis Berenchev from the Ukraine, that beat him in the Olympics, but under the AIBA rules, I couldn't be in the corner, so I had to rely on the Australian coach and so forth. And they, of course, naturally can't know the fighter the way I know Jeff. So we went on the Olympics and we turned professional, and the dream continues. So every day it's just about holding that dream, no matter how hard the going gets, and just following on and achieving the objective.
Mate, that's a great rundown there for all the viewers out there. So we know about Jeff Horn now, 29 years old, school teacher. Might look cute at school, but mean behind the ring. Now, one more thing, mate, you've got a very, very nice house here, mate, and you've got the gym all incorporated here too, so it's quite good for all the boxes.
Yeah, it's a great setup. I mean, this was the last thing I built when I was a property developer and builder, and I built it 19 years ago now, and it was purposely built. It's a great facility. It's nice and quiet and private. It's in a good area, so no problems with parking, and everyone loves it. And this gym here, we call it the House of Dreams, and that's what it's about. This is about creating world champions here. I've done, over the years, over decades, I've taught self-defense to thousands of people and helped them build their confidence and learn how to look after themselves. And I've really enjoyed that journey, teaching women, children, adults of all ages how to protect themselves. But now, at this stage of my journey, I want to focus on creating world champions. And I believe Australians always punched above their weight. And I just want to, show that what talent we've got here in this country and what we can achieve when we put the right work into our talent. So that's the journey that I'm on now. And yeah, I've got some terrific guys here, really, really good boxers.
Mate, I see all the team arriving here now, so we're getting slowly back into the training now, because you're only a few weeks away from the big fight, mate. I know you're busy. I'll shake your hand, mate. This is the man that's made it possible for Mr. Jeff Horn out there. All the best. Manny Pacquiao, watch out. Jeff's coming for you. Yeah. Hey guys, and welcome back to Peter Surfaroo. We've got the man here, Mr. Jeff Horn, 29 years old, school teacher, mate, ready to go. Few weeks away from the big one, Manny Pacquiao. How are you, mate?
Good, how are you?
Really, really good. It's a privilege to be in the ring with you here. Just tell me a bit about the journey up to this event.
The journey so far, it's been a difficult one. It's been a long road, but I suppose it's been quick in a way as well. It's everything's happened so fast. It started off just at school. Ended up going to the gym for some self-defense, and turned into wanting to have my first fight. That turned into wanting to go to the Olympics after that, after Glenn said he could get me there. And then 4 years after that, got to the Olympics, and here I am today, professional, 17 pro fights and fighting for the world title.
Hi Pete, the Surfaroo. Alan Jones, I'm just here at this magnificent Suncorp Stadium to host the launch of the Battle of Brisbane. This is one of the greatest sporting contests this city has ever seen, between the great Manny Pacquiao and, of course, the young man from Brisbane, Jeff Horn.
I don't think, and Bob, I told you I was going to embarrass you, Mr. Aaron. Well, I am. I don't think people understand exactly who this man is. Firstly, he's a Harvard Law School graduate. He has been a New York tax lawyer by profession. Little interest in boxing until an unknown came into his path in 1966 called Muhammad Ali. And he struck up a friendship with Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, during that awful, disgraceful Vietnam controversy. There'd be many people in the room who wouldn't even be aware. Ali stood, or Cassius Clay, stood his ground. He said he had nothing against any Vietnamese. Why should he go to war? As a result of that, boxing officials stripped him of his title. That was enough. No, it wasn't. Then they decided to try him for treasonous behaviour, not doing what his government asked him to do, and he was jailed. The sentence was suspended. Then he was fined $10,000, which was a fortune then, and taken out of the sport in his prime, the great Ali. And by his side was this man who's with us here today, continued to support him when others didn't. And he promoted then 26 of Ali's fights, and they became lifelong friends until his death last year. He has also, of course, now on his CV promoted the who's who of boxing superstars: George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Larry Holmes, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar de la Hoya, and this man, Manny. And he has said, his being here, it's hard to get your head around the fact that Bob Arum is here in little old Brisbane. And to support, that's the measure of how significant this project and this fight is. Australia will come to understand that. And it is pivotal to its success that, as I said, boxing royalty has given it his imprimatur. He says, still, ever the optimist, that boxing is yet to explode, I think his words, on the global stage. You do us great honour, Mr. Arum, in being here and joining us, and we'd love to hear from you.
It's great to be here for what will be an epic event, the Battle of Brisbane. All over the world, whether it's in this area, China and Japan, and of course the Philippines, whether it's in Europe, in England, which may no longer be part of Europe, but that's another story. And of course in the United States and Mexico, because the poor Mexicans have to stay at home and watch television because there's such a big wall that's being built. But be that as it may, a tremendous, tremendous audience. And it's great because Senator Pacquiao really epitomizes what's best about boxing. He is obviously the biggest hero in his home country of the Philippines. And remember, there's not only the 90 million people that live in the Philippines, there's 10 to 12 million Filipinos who live all over the world, including, I think, 250,000 in Australia, who are mad about Manny and follow all of his exploits. And you have somebody like Manny who is such, and I hate to use the word role model, but it really is so. There is never in the over 50 years that I've been in boxing been a fighter who gives back and is as charitable to his people as Manny Pacquiao. And indeed, when I gave an interview once about the social welfare system in the Philippines, I told the reporter that it's named Manny Pacquiao because this man does so much for his people. 12 senators are elected, so there are only 24 senators, and they do most of the job of legislating and running the Philippines. And Manny Pacquiao is a proud senator, and he made a vow before he was elected to the Filipino people. He said, I will not miss a session of the Philippine Senate. And he has lived up to that vow. He'll start training in Manila, in May, when the Philippines are in Senate is in session, and he will be at his post at 10 in the morning for committee work, and then for the Senate, and not until the evening will he go to the gym and work till about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So dedicated is he to his duties as a Philippine senator and to his obligations as a fighter. So he is a remarkable man. And for me, this all started last October when I was in New Zealand, in Auckland, at the fight between Joseph Parker, heavyweight championship, and Andy Ruiz, one of my fighters. And Parker won the fight. And then I saw a young guy in the welterweight division fighting a tough African fighter. And I said to Dean after the fight, this kid has all the goods. This kid will give any fighter out there, any welterweight in the world, a real battle. And of course that was Jeff Horn. So we're here today to officially announce this great event, the Battle of Brisbane. I'll see you all in the week or so leading up to the fight, and we're going to have some event and some party on July 2nd. Thank you very much.
Magnificent. There you are. Come to Brisbane to get a history of boxing. Outstanding. Wonderful story here. Young man who's immensely well credentialed, academically trained, university degree, fabulous school teacher, started all of this very late in life, only about 10 years ago, and here he is now on the cusp of international recognition and sitting at the same table as two of the greats of the game. Here he is. Please welcome him.
I can't believe I'm standing here today in front of you with everyone here about to talk about what's coming up with this massive fight with Manny Pacquiao. It's very exciting. He kept me on my toes for a while, toing and froing, but I understand why with the offers that he had on the table. Well, I'm going to say it's going to be a great, exciting fight come July 2nd, and people say he's past it. I've been watching him for years. He's not past it. He's still a massive champion. He's world champion as well. He's done so much, but I'm hoping to steal that off him come July 2nd.
So what kind of positive spin are you putting on this contest with this bloke here?
Well, yeah, well...
Come on, tell him.
He's done so much in the past. He's fought a lot of champions. If he underestimates me, he's going to know about it, I guess, on July 2nd. It's going to be a very tough fight. And he's going to see that come July, especially if he hasn't trained hard for it. If he's taking me easy, yeah.
What an ambassador, eh? He's one of us. Here he is. Come on. Just outstanding stuff. There he is. One of the legends of the game. And he made his pro debut, born in the Philippines, and he made his pro debut in 1995. In his third reign, he's now in his third reign as a WBO welterweight champion, but this is extraordinary. He's the only 8-division world champion in boxing history. There's a lot of people got in the ring. He's won 11 major world titles. He's the first boxer to win the lineal world championship, that's going through all the different classifications, in 5 different weight classes. 5 different weight classes. And of course, as I think was already alluded to by Dean, I think, the fighter of the decade, or Graham, the Lord Mayor, the fighter of the decade in the 10 years of the 2000. And as you've heard, elected to the Parliament, and that's some time ago, in 2010. And then in 2016, only last year, that was to the House of Representatives. And then he's been elected to the upper house, and you heard Mr. Aram talk about the kind of work he has to do as a senator, and that means he'll serve a full 6-year term. And he's joined us here, brings with him an illustrious record, phenomenal prestige within the sport. And I just say to you, Manny, whatever might happen in July, you do us a great honour by accepting the fight and by lending yourself to the promotion of it as you have. So would you please welcome one of the greats of all time, Mr. Manny Pacquiao.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank God for this great opportunity to be here in Brisbane, and a great opportunity for for the people to see this beautiful place. Brisbane is a beautiful place. We go around yesterday and very nice. I love here. And also thank you to all the sponsors who support this coming event, especially the Minister of Tourism, Kate Jones. Thank you for helping to make this happen here. And also the Queensland government, thank you to all their support. And of course the media and fans, thank you. You're always there to support us. And of course the promoter, Top Rank Promotion, Bob Arum, and IP Promotion, and Duco Events Promotion. And of course, I will never forget this great opportunity to say that I've been in Brisbane, Australia. It is a beautiful place. It is a great opportunity also to the fans who going to watch the fight on July 2nd. They can see a lot of beautiful place here in Brisbane. So I've been there. I've been there in that situation when I was starting. When I was young, even at night before I sleep, I was thinking about the fight like that, and same thing with him. I know that, but the most important thing in life is, honor everyone, and the most important is discipline yourself. Make sure that you are 100% conditioned in the fight, so that we can entertain people, we can make the people happy when they are gonna watch on July 2nd. I mean, nobody knows what's gonna happen on July 2nd, but I am doing my best. I'm gonna do my best to win the fight, and you're doing your best to win the fight. But may the best man win. Most of all, I want to thank God for everything that He gave it to me. Without the blessings and guidance of the Lord, I wouldn't be here in front of you right now. And the accomplishment that I have done, I can't imagine. I never imagined that I will accomplish all these things. My dream is just to be a champion, to become a champion, a world champion. But to be 8 different weight division is not in my thought or my mind before. And until now, I'm asking that, how I get that done, how I accomplish with this accomplishment. But nothing is impossible with God. So thank you, everyone. I hope you going to watch on July 2nd here in Brisbane. Thank you, and God bless.
Many people would be saying, well, you retired in April last year, and then you came out of retirement and you won the WBO welterweight title in November. So this, in fact, is your first defence. Why? I know they tried hard to get you to accept the fight. Why did you accept this fight against Jeff Horn?
I accept the fight against Jeff Horn because I believe, especially excited to have the fight here in Australia, and I'm excited to accept the fight because of his style. He loves to fight. He loves to fight all the time, not like other fighter running, moving around. This guy he loves to fight all the time. So I'm sure that on July 2nd we can give a good fight for the fans. More action in the ring.
And just at a personal level, Mr. Aram has already made reference of your standing in the Philippines. A tremendous expectation of you, a parliamentarian, but the whole of the Philippines world, both at home and away, almost watch your every move. Is that difficult?
It's a big responsibility. That's why I have to manage my time, my schedule, everything, and people are watching our moves, interested, especially our government is fighting, fighting against illegal drugs, so it's very very hard for us to do everything.
I just have to reiterate, I think, what I said before. I don't think Australia has yet come to grips with what's going on here. And that's why we're very grateful for the media, very, very significant media presence, a national media presence here today, because this is a story that deserves to be told. A young man at the other end of the table from the suburbs of Brisbane who's virtually come from nowhere. And thanks to this team down here, done a wonderful job, Jeff. And it demonstrates that there is talent here, and there are people who can nurture that talent. That's the key. Tremendous support from a simple family, Granddad I was talking to before, so excited. And then at the other end of the table, two members of boxing royalty, which is just extraordinary that this city is now hosting both Bob Arum and Manny Pacquiao. So please take that message right across the country and across the world. We're proud of that, and Kate, our thanks to you, Anastasia, to the government, because you get into trouble for doing these things. You get into trouble if you do it, you get into trouble if you don't do it. But that's what government is about, of the people and for the people, and this is for the people of Australia as well as Queensland. And of course, congratulations on what you've done to this beautiful city. Lovely place to come. You're going to love it here. The people will love you, Manny. We've got a video here which we can let you have a look at, a promo video. You're going to be seeing a lot of this between now and July.
Defending WBO welterweight champion of the world.
And I think Pacquiao might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew here, but we'll wait and see. But it's going to be a big event in July, and we're launching it here today.
Hi Pete, see you at the gym. It should be a good fight.
Now, a bit about school bullying, just for viewers out there, kids watching, and they're going, well, I got school, I'm still getting bullied at school. What do you recommend for them?
Just to stay strong, I guess. Try and ignore those people that are saying those things to you. I guess tell someone about it. Talking is always the best thing. Don't try and let it build up in yourself, and make sure you let people know.
Now, you've had 17 fights, and out of those 17 fights, 10 of them were world title rated boxers. Now, that's pretty unbelievable, because no Australian boxer has done that.
No, it hasn't been done for a long time. Usually guys are picking their fights and taking the easy road there, but it's certainly been a tough road to get to where I am today.
Now, just briefly about the fight with Victor Plotnikov. There was a bit of blood involved there. That was a head knock. Just tell me a bit about the 7th round, mate.
Oh, yeah, I can remember clashing heads with him at one stage, and I opened up a big cut over my eye, and I just had to pull it all together. Went back to the pit crew in the corner, and they stitched me all up, and well, not stitched me up, but stopped the bleeding happening, and jumped back in there and ended up winning that fight.
Now, you've got a style of boxing yourself. What do we call your style of boxing? Because you use both hands, mate.
Yeah, I guess we like to call ourselves broken rhythm pressure fighting type of fighters. I do switch from southpaw and orthodox, so that's why people say I'm an awkward type of fighter to go up against.
Mate, that's going to be a big one for Manny Pacquiao to watch out for, because he normally concentrates on one side of the body. Now, he's got 22 years of professional boxing, and you've just sprung up out of nowhere, mate, and done so well for yourself. How do you reckon you're going to go in this ring?
I think I'm going to do very well. I think I've got the youth on my side for one. I know he's got the experience, and experience is a very, very big thing to have, but I've got a big heart, and I think I'm going to use that in there to get that win.
Mate, sounds great. Now, we've got a lot of Australian boxers getting up there in the world. We've had the Costazoos, the Greens, we've got the Mundines, and we've got even the Cassidis, and they've done really well overseas. Now, mate, if you knock this big one, it's going to be a major big one here, done here in Brisbane. So it's great to bring the big act over here, Manny Pacquiao, and good luck with that, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
We'll be watching you, mate, yeah.
Want to chat with me? I'll put your face on the TV. Hang with me on Surfaroo. I love my cozzy and I love my hat. Where it's happening, that's where I'm at. Well, if you stay right there, then I will come to you. It's interview time with Surfaroo.